I saved the kidnapped heiress, Suzuki-wan. To repay me, my old neighbor gave me two choices: marry our beloved granddaughter, Suzuki-wan, or take 100 million. I chose the money. I booked the first flight abroad. I just wanted to escape, running from the heiress I saved. Because I was reborn. Before I saved the heiress, Suzuki-wan, I worked 5 jobs daily, doing my best to treat her like a princess. Once she was found, no one was allowed to mention those memories. The neighbor saw my kindness and asked what I wanted. I foolishly asked to marry Wan. I wanted to care for her forever. But after we returned home, Wan fell for a wealthy prince. She was cold to me. After marriage, whenever she held my hand, she would immediately wash it. Then she got pregnant to be with her true love and stay by his side. She pushed me off a cliff. As I died, she stood over me and sneered, "You're just a poor, pathetic loser, unworthy of being my husband." My first choice was always a Yang. It could have been anyone but you. I woke up back then. She asked, "What do you want as a reward?" This time, I left my illusions and ignored Suzuki. "I want cash, plus a plane ticket to a beautiful country." Gucci. "Are you playing hard to get with me?" Suzuki-wan, sharp-voiced, shattered my memories of the villa next door. He sat on a leather sofa, arms crossed. The eyes that once watched me now held only open mockery and disdain. He'd been back at the neighbor's for less than 3 days. What I was wearing, the cheap cotton dress I saved up to buy, had long been replaced by high-end Chanel. The dazzling diamond necklace on her neck silently marked the class divide between us. The old lady took the main seat, holding a string of fine sandalwood beads. She eyed me from head to toe with sharp, cloudy eyes, like evaluating the remnants of a low-quality product. "Mr. Gu, Wenner is very blunt. Don't mind her." A man in a dark striped suit, behind Suzuki-wan. He stepped out. It was Jay Boying, known for his generosity. He sat down beside Suzuki-wan, naturally taking her hand. Suzuki didn't pull away. Instead, she leaned into him with a slight blush. Jay Boying looked at me, a seemingly gentle smile on his face, but it was laced with malice. "Mr. Goose saved Wenner. It's only natural to ask for compensation. But I wonder about your price. How big is your appetite?" He emphasized the word appetite. His eyes were full of condescension and disdain. I looked calmly at the three of them. The weightless fall from the cliff in my past life, and the pain of being shattered. It still feels like it's in my blood. Su-wan stood at the top of the cliff. "You low-class trash. Unworthy of me." Her voice still rings in my ears. I snapped back to the present. I looked straight at Mrs. Lin. "I want 10 million. My voice was flat and steady, as if I were just discussing the weather. The room fell silent instantly. Suddenly, Su-wan burst into mocking laughter. 10 million? Ku, are you out of your mind?" She stood up abruptly, pointing at me. "You work 4 jobs. Washing dishes at a restaurant and hauling bricks on a site. How much do you even make a month? Now you're asking for 10 million? Do you think money grows on trees?" Hatred overflowed from her eyes. I knew it. "You didn't save me out of kindness. You're just a parasite. You pretended you wanted to leave. Just to demand a fortune, right?" Lin Yang quickly grabbed her wrist. He patted her back to comfort her. "Don't be angry, it's bad for you." He turned to look at me, frowning, pretending to be distressed. "Mr. Gu, I thought you were honest. I didn't expect you to be so greedy. 10 million is nothing to the Lins. But for people like you, suddenly getting so much money, it is very easy to lose your way. I suggest you keep your feet on the ground. You want 180,000. Isn't it better to start a small business?" Every word sounds like he cares for me, yet he scolds me for being greedy, calling me a hopeless case. I look at Ji Boying's fake face. I realize how pathetic I was before, to lose to such a low-tier green tea guy. I ignored Ji Boying's provocation, and only look at Mrs. Lin. "Mrs. Lin, is Miss Lin's life not even worth 10 million? Mrs. Lin holds her prayer beads. A dark glint flashes in her cloudy eyes. The Lins are a top family in Jinju. If word gets out that her savior only got 100,000, with 80,000 already sent, where's the Lin family's dignity? 10 million. Mrs. Lin says in a raspy voice, with unquestionable authority. Mrs. Suzuki is anxious, stomping her foot. "How can you agree to his absurd demand? This scoundrel. He won't know how to spend it." Mrs. Lin raises her hand, silencing Suzuki. She stares at me. "Listen carefully. I can give you 10 million. But in exchange for this money, you must sign a non-disclosure agreement. From now on, you mustn't tell anyone about saving INNHI. Don't use any excuse to ever see INNHI or her family again. Can you do that?" I nodded immediately. "I want that even more than you do. We should never cross paths again." He was stunned. He didn't expect me to agree so quickly. Without any hesitation, in his mind, I should be begging like a dog, constantly pestering him. "Gucci, stop pretending. You think taking money can wash away your filth, that sewer stench? Let me tell you, Even with 10 million, you're still a lowly peasant to me. They both chimed in, looking quite smug. Mr. Gu's words were blunt, but they're the truth. Different worlds, money won't change that. Go back to the gutter where you belong. I watched their little act, feeling nothing at all. I almost laughed. When will I be paid? I ignored their sarcasm. Looking at the old lady, I'll have my staff prepare a check. She said coldly, I want a wire transfer. No checks. I was firm. Checks can be frozen. I won't let them hold me back. My Barbie. Miss Eslin looked at me deeply. She finally nodded. Bring your papers tomorrow. Come to Lin Group to sign. I turned toward the gate, without stopping. See you tomorrow afternoon. I'll vanish once I'm paid. I wish Miss Lin and Master Kai a long and happy marriage. Next day, I went to the Lin Group legal office on time. The terms were very harsh. It almost stripped my rights. Mu Wen's full name. I didn't even look. I signed the last page directly. Thumbprint. My phone vibrated. A bank notification. 10 million in my account. I stared at the long number and sighed in relief. From now, I am finally free. I left the Lin building. Back to that dark basement. This rental, it holds all my past pain. Suzuki's scraps are in the corner. Boxes from health food. A chipped sheet glass. I raised him. The only old watch left. Sold to buy him medicine. From a stall owner, Suzuki saved the lens and took nothing. He only took this cup. Back then, with red eyes, he said, this is proof of our shared suffering. But then I found out, he only brought that cup back, just to prove to Jae-dang how inhumanely he was tortured back then. To trade for Jae-dang's misery, that cup was eventually before my eyes. Shattered into pieces by Jae-dang. I picked up the glass and went to the bin, letting go. The glass shattered. Trash belongs in the trash. This was my rented house. The rickety iron door was pushed open. Suzuki covered her nose, standing there with a malicious look. Lin Jiang followed behind her, holding a white handkerchief, fanning the air. Gujai, are you really hiding in this filthy place? Suzuki's heels stepped on the potholes of the uneven concrete floor, making a piercing sound. This smell. It's more disgusting than a sewer. Lin Jiang frowned slightly, looking down on everything. Wetter, I told you not to come here. A second longer in this environment will get you infected with bacteria. I continued packing my tattered clothes without even looking up. Hello, Miss Lin. What's the matter? Our agreement is over. Suzuki stepped in, scanning the small room. When she saw the glass in the trash, her face turned fierce. Gujai, you dropped that cup. He points at the bin. A sharp, grating voice. I stuffed clothes in an old bag, sipping it up. A broken cup. It's taking up space. Toss it. What do you know? Lin Yuan instinctively retorted. But she stopped. She glanced at Jiboing and swallowed her words. She can't show Jiboing any nostalgia for the past. Jiboing noticed Lin Yuan's change. He steps up, poking the shards with his toe. A smirk touched his lips. Mr. Gu, Yuan is nostalgic. Even if it's just trash, it has sentimental value. How could you break it so crudely? How inconsiderate. He sighed. He took 100 from his wallet and threw it like I was a beggar. Cheap things like this. 100 yuan buys a whole basket. Repayment on Yuan's behalf. Stop making that damn face. The bill falls onto my canvas back. I stopped moving, slowly stood up. I stared coldly at Jiboing. Master Jai, your money is filthy. It's disgusting. Jiboing's face darkened. Kusai, don't be ungrateful. Think you're worth a grand. Lin is my equal. In my eyes, you're just a filthy beggar. One stepped in front of Bang, staring. Are you crazy? Bang was kind enough to pay you. You dare insult him? Pick up the money and apologize. Her natural bias is just like in the past life. I sneered. I stepped right on the 100 bill and ground it down. Apologize? Is he worth it? Lin Yuan, do you really think the world revolves around you? I was blind to follow you. But now, in my eyes, you're worth less than garbage. Lin Yuan's eyes widened. Unbelievable. She couldn't accept it. Someone once so obedient, now dared to speak like this. How dare you talk to me like that? She trembled with rage. She raised her hand to slap me. I caught her wrist. The force made her gasp in pain. Miss Lin, drop that noble act of yours. I shoved her hand away. Take your dog and get out of my house, or I will call the police. I'll sue you for trespassing. Ji Bang rushed to her side, glaring at me. Gu Chi, just you wait. Since you offended me in Jingju, I have 100 ways to make your life a living hell. I put the bat over my shoulder, fearlessly meeting his gaze. Anytime. I doubt you have the ability. I left the rental house, leaving them both behind. Guan. Why are you so mean now? Unbelievable. Suzuki Wan's confused voice echoed from behind. I didn't look back. After leaving, I went straight to an airport hotel. Flights in 6 days. I just needed to wait quietly. But they clearly didn't want me to go easily. On night 3, my door was pounded on. 2 guards in black were outside. Holding a suit, they said, Mr. Gu. The matriarch's orders, attend the Lin family's party tonight. The guard sounded firm, no room for negotiation. I frowned. The agreement is signed. I already took the money. I'm not going to any party. The guard sneered. The lady said, if you don't go, she has her ways. She'll shut down your old construction company. The contractor there took good care of you, didn't he? My eyes narrowed. Madam Lin is threatening innocence. That contractor helped me when I struggled. He lent me some money. Although I am cold-blooded, I won't turn on my benefactor. I'll go. I took the suit and changed before them. The suit was clearly a size too small. The fabric was coarse, dressed like a ridiculous clown. Lin Jia meant to shame me at the party to highlight Yan's nobility. 8:00 p.m. Escorted by bodyguards, I arrived at the city's finest hotel. Inside the glamorous banquet hall, lights flicker. As soon as I entered, all eyes were on me. Who is that person? Dressed so shabbily. How did he get in? I heard he saved the Lin's eldest daughter. A toad lusting after a swan. He doesn't know his place. Compared to young Master G, they are worlds apart. These bitter words reached my ears. I walked indifferently to a corner sofa. I sat down and took a glass of water. Before long, the crowd began to stir. Lin Wen walked in arm with Yang, shining like the moon and stars. Lin Wen wore an ice blue couture gown. So beautiful. Yang wore a tailored black tuxedo with a priceless sapphire brooch. They were like a match made in heaven. Mrs. Lam stands on the stage, smiling. She introduces her guests. Thank you all for coming to my granddaughter's party. I and NHI was away for days, thanks to young Master Ba Duong. She returned home safely. Ba Duong is a devoted young man. Our neighbors are very grateful. I sat in the corner, listening to Mrs. Lam's lies. I almost laughed. I clearly risked my life to save Ian and HI from kidnappers. But in Mrs. Lam's words, all credit goes to Ba Duong, and I, the real savior, don't even get a mention. At that moment, Ba Duong brought 2 glasses of wine. He walked straight toward me. A fake smile was on his face and a clear voice, so everyone could hear. Mr. Gu, it's boring here alone. Let me offer a toast. He handed me a glass of wine. I didn't respond. I'm not drinking. Malice flashed in his eyes, but he still acted innocent. Mr. Gu, won't you show me respect? Or are you still mad about that rental house? I know you're jealous she chose me, but love cannot be forced. He raised his voice intentionally. The guests around us stopped talking. Everyone looked over. Who do you think you are? It's enough to make me jealous. I looked coldly. Dap Duong stepped forward. Half a glass of wine in his hand was thrown at his chest. Oh me! Dap Duong screamed loudly. He fell backward. Deep red wine stained his expensive white shirt. Chaos broke out. Suzuki, frantic, pushed through the crowd. Dap Duong, are you okay? She helped him up, distress, hurriedly wiping him with tissues. His eyes turned red, trembling, looking deeply wronged. When? I'm okay. Mr. Ko might be in a bad mood. He didn't mean to push me. His manipulative act instantly angered Suzuki. Suzuki turned around, glaring in rage. She stepped toward me, ready to strike me. I tilted my head, easily dodging her slap. You bastard. Suzuki pointed at me angrily. Her sharp voice pierced the room. Dap Duong offered you wine. How dare you push him? Kneel and apologize to him now, or I won't let you off today. The guests also criticized me. What an uneducated savage. How could the host invite this kind of social trash to attend the party? Kneel down and apologize. Don't be an eyesore. I stood my ground, watching these self-righteous elites with cold eyes. What if I refuse to apologize? Bu Jai, have you forgotten who you are? Ma Yuan looked at me with utter disgust, as if she were looking at a pile of trash. His chest heaved violently. His pointing finger trembled. You think having 10 million lets you walk all over the circle? Let me tell you, crushing you here is easier than killing an ant. Leaning into Ma Yuan's arms, he continued his act. He gently tugged at Ma Yuan's dress. His voice was weak, as if he would faint. Manhwa, forget it. Mr. Gu likely has a poor background. His inferiority complex led to such extreme behavior. I'll just change my clothes. Don't let me ruin the mood. The more he spoke, the more Manhwa felt he was wrong. Her hatred for me deepened. No. He must kneel and apologize to you today. Just then, Madame Lin approached with her bodyguards. Her face was stern. She crushed the prayer beads in her hand. The Lin family showed you respect, but you rejected it. Shameless, she said in a low voice. But it carried immense pressure. If you don't kneel and kowbow today, this won't end quietly. I can freeze your bank accounts at any time. Not only that, I'll make sure you have no place in Jingshu or anywhere else in this country. As the old woman finished speaking, dozens of burly, black-clad bodyguards quickly cornered me. The guests nearby backed away, afraid of the sight of blood, yet their eyes were filled with excitement for the drama. The tension reached its peak at this moment. Everyone thought I was just a poor nobody. Facing their accusations, I could only kneel and beg for mercy. I looked at Suzuki Wan's triumphant face, and at the hidden malice in Jibayan's eyes, then at Mrs. Lin's condescending posture. I suddenly laughed. My laughter echoed in the silent hall. It was so sudden. What are you laughing at? Are you crazy? Suzuki Wan frowned. My laughter was making her uneasy. I stopped laughing and slowly took my phone out of my pocket. I'm laughing at you elites who think you're so smart. Yet you're being fooled by a terrible actor and played like fools. As I spoke, I opened an app on my phone. In my past life, to avoid being scammed out of my wages, I taught myself some hacking skills. I was bored in the corner, so I hacked into the hotel's security system. Lin Manhwa, open your eyes and look closely. See for yourself who the real criminal is. I pressed enter. Banquet hall. A giant LED screen in the center. The screen suddenly flickers. Immediately after, the advertisement playing on the screen switches to HD surveillance footage. On the screen, it clearly shows what just happened. Shibayan walks toward me with wine. I even stepped back as he approached. My hands were in my pockets. I didn't even touch him, but Shibayan intentionally tripped himself, then poured the glass of red wine directly onto his own chest. Finally, he fell backward, completing that pathetic fake fall. The entire process was captured and shown from every angle to everyone. Even his smug look and a devious smirk on his face were all clearly zoomed in. A dead silence fell. Every pair of eyes stared fixedly at the big screen. The looks on their faces were priceless. The guests who told me to kneel now looked like they were being choked. They couldn't say a word. I put my phone in my pocket and crossed my arms, smirking at the pale Shibayan. MS, Yang Lin. Your lapdog's acting doesn't seem very good. You dared to frame me. Shibayan's pathetic face immediately distorted. His voice was shrill like a cat's tail stepped on. He pushed Suzuki Maru aside, pointed at the big screen, and shouted, "This video is fake. It's on the screen you faked." The video is still looping. Each loop is a slap in the face. Slapping that creep's face. The guests began to whisper, looking at Boying's eyes, from sympathy to contempt. Turns out, he fell on his own. Too bad this acting won't win an Oscar. The Granji family's young master, using such low-handed tricks to frame an ordinary person. How shameful. The Lins really misjudged him. Finding such a wonderful person. Those words were like needles in Wu Wan's ears. His face turned pale. His body trembled slightly. He felt ashamed, but he still didn't apologize. Why are you so scheming? Secretly recording a video. Wu Wan turned around and stared at me. You just want to ruin Boying, right? A low-life like you is truly malicious. I looked at him and felt it was absurd. Wu Wan, if you aren't using your brain, donate it to someone in need. I grabbed a nearby microphone. My voice echoed through the hall. He provoked me first. He spilled the wine on himself. I'm just revealing the truth. How does that make me malicious? I coldly scanned the room. What you call high society is just reversing black and white. Calling a deer a horse. Mrs. Lin trembled with rage. She pointed at me and cursed. Insolence. Security. This brat doesn't know her place. Get her out of here. A dozen bodyguards stepped forward. I stood there without fear. I stared coldly at Mrs. Lin. No need to force me. I'll leave on my own. I've received the Lin's 10 million. From now on, my client and Lin Manhwa have no ties to the Lin family. Your disgusting circle. I won't stay another day. I threw the mic onto the table. It made a piercing screech. I turned around. I strode toward the exit. As I walked, the guards were intimidated and instinctively cleared a path. Lin Ziyuan watched me leave, feeling a sudden emptiness, as if something belonging to him was slipping from his control. He instinctively took a step up. His pride made him stop. Gucci. If you walk out that door today, Even if you beg me on your knees, I won't look at you again. Lin Zayuan shouted from behind. I didn't look back. He didn't even pause his steps. As you wish. I pushed open the heavy banquet doors. The smoky world was left behind. The night breeze felt cool, making me feel clearer and freer. Go check it out. Where is that bastard? Lin Muan angrily swept the files to the floor. Since that farcical party, a month had already passed. During this month, Lin Muan's life became a mess. Every morning she woke up, the warm porridge was gone. In her walk-in closet, she couldn't find matching items, because before, Guji would arrange everything. Where her stomach ached, she called him. She made the call, but the man only said one thing: drink hot water. I'm in a meeting. Before, Guji would cross the city just to buy her favorite porridge. Lin Muan massaged her aching temples, feeling inexplicably uneasy. She wouldn't admit she missed his care. To her, that cheap nanny quitting just made life difficult. What upset her more was Ji-Yan's true colors showing. Several times, she found cheap perfume all over Ji-Yan's clothes. When she questioned him, he would just push her away. Tell him he's unreasonable. Unless found him, the assistant pushed the door open. Send him a copy of the info. He's gone to HN. And he used 10 million to start a tech company. It's doing very well now. Suzuki Wan grabbed the file. She stared at the photo. He looked high-spirited. His eyes were sharp. He looked composed. No hint of his former humility. No more people-pleasing. Jealousy and loss of control ripped Suzuki Wan's heart. Why is he doing so well? Take that settlement money. Suzuki Maru gritted her teeth. Book a flight to Hacheng now. I want to see for myself what the hell he's doing. The next afternoon, in 10-centimeter heels, Suzuki Maru appeared at my company. Still the haughty socialite, the pampered young miss ignored the reception desk and broke into my office. I sat behind my desk, reading a project report. I didn't even look up at the noise. You've got some nerve. Opening a company behind my back. Suzuki Maru approached the desk. She put her hands on the table. I slowly looked up with a cold gaze. MS, Lin, breaking into an office is a serious matter. Legal liability. Is that enough? Come with me. I can forgive your past nonsense. Lin Mu, are you mentally impaired? I leaned back in my ergonomic chair, hands folded in front of me. I looked at him like he was crazy. Lin Minwan flushed at my words. He stared at me, searching for a facade on my face. He was disappointed. My eyes held only cold mockery, none of the obsession he expected. Stop pretending. Lin Mu raised his voice, trying to hide his embarrassment. You came to HN to start a company. Just to get my attention, right? You think wearing that suit can hide your inner poverty? Let me tell you, you're just a beggar living on handouts. Low-life trash, barely surviving. I listened to his hysterical shouting. A cruel smirk formed on my lips. My past life, he used that same condescending tone to grind me into the dust. I stood up and slowly walked around the desk. With a massive height advantage and an air of authority, I forced him to take a step back. Lin Minwan, don't you think your first choice is always to sacrifice? I stared into his eyes, word by word, repeating his words from my past life. Return it to him intact, and I, a lowly, poor soul, only fit to be your backup choice. Suzuki was thunderstruck. She stood frozen on the spot. She stared at me in terror. Those words, hidden in her darkest thoughts, she had never told anyone. She was baffled. How did I hit the mark so accurately? Deep inside, her filthiest secret. How could you? Her lips shook, unable to say a full sentence. I gave her no time to breathe. I continued the assault. You think you're a noble princess? You are just ungrateful. A selfish, cold-blooded wolf. You enjoy everything I gave you. Yet you loathe my background. You love Yi words, but ignore his true character. Now, no, in my eyes, are worse than a stray dog. Lin Muan's resolve collapsed. She covered her ears, shaking her head. No, it's not like that. Lies. I don't want to see you. I hit the desk intercom. Security, get up here. Throw this crazy woman out. In less than a minute, 2 burly guards rushed in. They grabbed Suzuki's arms. Let go. Do you know who I am? I am the Lin family's daughter. Suzuki Wan struggled desperately, her makeup twisted with rage and fear. I sat down, reopened the report. Throw her out. Keep this trash out of my company. You dare call me trash? Kukai, you will regret this. Suzuki fled back to Jinju to welcome him, but news came that would ruin the Lins. Something happened to Ji Yang. He kept many mistresses on the side and even used Coralin family projects for money laundering and fraud. When the truth was revealed, police raided an underground casino. They caught Yang in the act. News broke out. Jinju business was shaken. Lin Group stock 10 minutes after opening plunged directly. Billions in market value vanished. Old Necess Lin was furious. A brain bleed sent her to the ICU. She is still in a coma. Suzuki panicked completely. She ran to the jail to see Yang. Through the iron window, Ji Yang was no longer the same. His elegant mask was gone. His face was twisted, with the eyes of a venomous snake. What are you doing here? To mock me? Ji Yang spat aggressively. Suzuki cried and hit the glass. Dad, why did you do this? Why did you lie to me? Why destroy the Lin family? Qiu Beian suddenly laughed. He laughed until he cried. Lying to you, you're just a fool. Did you think I'd care for a toy like you, abused you? If not for your family's resources, you think I'd stoop so low to play along with a fool like you? Every word was like a sharp knife, stabbing into Lin Maiyuan's heart. She collapsed to the ground. Her whole world had crumbled. Only at this moment did she see his true face. In the abyss of despair, Lin Maiyuan thought of me. She recalled when I had 4 jobs just to buy her a small cake. She remembered when she was sick. I stayed by her side all night. I even missed meetings for her. Regret, like a venomous snake, began to eat away at her. It was late autumn in Heishan. The rain was pouring down. I had just finished a big deal in my Maybach, heading back, leaving the underground garage. The driver suddenly braked. Director, someone is kneeling in the road. I rolled down the window. Lin Maiyuan was soaked in the rain, kneeling like a drowned rat. Her hair was matted to her face. Her dress was covered in mud. Seeing the window roll down, she crawled toward the car. She gripped the window frame. Gujai. I was wrong. I know I was. Please, give me another chance. Give you a chance. So you can push me off the cliff again? I hold a large black-handled umbrella. I push the car door open, looking down at Suzuki Wan in the mud. Cold rain runs down the umbrella ribs. It strikes his face. Suzuki looks up. He stares at me in fear. He knows nothing of my rebirth. Of course, he only feels that my image is like a rusty hacksaw, cutting through his soul bit by bit, leaving him nowhere to hide. What are you saying? I don't understand. His teeth are chattering, trying to hide his inner fear. I relish his misery and despair right now. Not a shred of pity in my heart, only the joy of revenge. It's fine if you don't understand. You just need to know that right now, you're worth less than a puddle of mud to me. Suzuki Wan burst into tears. He rushes forward recklessly, clinging to my legs. Mud stains my high-end suit. I'm truly sorry. Ji Boying is a beast. He tricked me. He destroyed the Lin family. Grandma is still in emergency care. The Lins are going bankrupt. Du Jai, I only have you. He looked up, rain and tears mixed together, using that pitiful look to stir my old feelings. Pujai, I'm pregnant. It's Li Sui's. But I'm leaving tomorrow. If you'll take me back, I'll do whatever you say. I'll be your slave. I heard his endless pleas. It was sickening. He used this baby before, luring me to the edge to push me off. My gaze was cold. I kicked him away mercilessly. Suzuki Wan screamed, falling hard into the mud. Dirty water splashed. Suzuki Wan, you don't even deserve my hate. I looked down at him, cold as a 1,000-year blade. Now here you are, egging like a dog. It makes me nauseous. Don't dirty my eyes. Get lost. I kicked him away mercilessly. Suzuki Maru screamed. He fell heavily into the mud. Dirty water splash. I turned to the car. Without another look. Drive, I told the driver. Yes, President Gu, I'm a line. Asen's voice was calm as ever. My source is completely reliable. The Lins are hitting dead ends now. No domestic bank will lend them money. They're using an underground broker to reach an overseas firm, Black Gold Capital. They'll use their old house as collateral for a lifeline. Black Gold Capital? The old house. What is the market valuation? Normally, at least 500 million. But they're desperate for cash now. And Black Gold Capital is a ruthless predator. I guess the loan will be 200 million at most. And the interest rate will be astronomical. 200 million is all they deserve. Asen, listen. Use all our connections. Find who the Lins are meeting, which manager at Black Gold, the exact time and place of the negotiations. I'll intercept them.